Welcome to Bella Podcast. Pandemic. But struggling for a while in front of the hospital gate, Dan Ann still could not find a driver to receive the trip from the system. When I was the most tired, suddenly a female-style scooter, quite fashionable, came over. The driver wears a low-cut shirt, high-waisted jeans that hug the lower body. When the car came to a complete stop, its owner pulled down the mask he was wearing and called, "Sister Dan. Just got out, sister." When looking at the car and the driver's outfit, Dan Ann guessed who this girl was. Adding to calling her that, the whole city is just that person. That sand. I also worked last night. She pretended to ask, even though she knew that this girl always worked at night, not alternating days and nights like her. Kat is a beautiful girl. Eye-catching white skin, along with delicate facial features, always attract the attention of the opposite sex. Kat's body is slim, but it also has enough curves to evoke beauty. Charming. Sand is about 3 years younger than Dan Ann. Both lived almost in the suburbs before moving to the city center for studying and working like now. So, Kat knows the childhood name that friends often tease Dan Ann. "Ms. Dan always comes home, doesn't she? Looks like you're not driving." "I'm back too. I always carry you." Normally, Dan Ann would refuse. But today the sluggishness of her body made her temporarily put aside her prejudices. She has no sympathy for Kat. If not somewhat disdain for the stories she heard buzzing around Kat. Kat works as a receptionist in a hotel near Dan Ann's hospital. The kind of hotel that people now call a hotel or a love hotel. Dan Ann also heard a few bad rumors that Kat was more than just a receptionist, before witnessing with her own eyes that she let a man put his hand on her sensitive spot in front of the hotel door. So despite having many connections, but Dan Ann almost did not start a conversation, even avoiding Kat, and in front of others, he did not seem familiar with her even though her small house was located right next to the motel room. Sand as in. On the way back, Kat seemed to talk a lot about the epidemic, and then did not forget to review the story in the suburbs before. Dan Ann hummed to Let It Go. Partly because she didn't like sand, partly because her mind was really blank, as if something was spinning inside, not her usual brain. But struggling for a while in front of the hospital gate.